Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Big J Gaming. Today we're going to be getting into the top 5 best base locations in the Walking Dead Online map. Now, I'm going to be deciding this based on my own personal experience and observations while playing in game. I'm going to decide what is considered to be the best of all the locations, defensible positions for a group of people, and what would be the easiest to defend and the hardest for an attacker to beat the defender. So let's get into it. Alright, coming in at the number 5 spot, we got the Traveler Motel. Now this location, which is not far from the big spot, Superstore, is pretty easy to access. I think is a decent location for a couple of reasons. One, as you can see here, you can easily get onto the roof of the buildings, which is very important in case you got people traveling up, from a far away distance. You have good cover here. If you have people traveling up from this way, you can machine gun them down when they get close and they have no cover. The trees provide hardly any, if any, cover. And you have this on two sides, with the last roof being right here. These buildings here, while they themselves provide very little value outside of the loot, provides a small location to defend, meaning you have to have less people to actually defend the place. The walls are unable to be traversed by one's own self, so you can't just jump over the wall by yourself unless you had something to stack on top of. But if you stand on either of these roofs, I have a decent angle here, and if I get on the other roof, I would have a very similar angle to where I can shoot down at those attempting to traverse the wall. With its small location and relatively decent loot, makes it easier to defend, as well as a desirable location for newer players. While it might be highly trafficked, I think it's a good location maybe at first if you have a smaller group. Its biggest weaknesses, however, are the walls in the front and the fact that, well, it's not difficult to overrun the place. People can get inside relatively easily if they just approach from the front. Any other flank would be a lot more difficult. But here, it's a bit more difficult to defend the front gate because you can easily hop over it. The barbed wire offers no protection, and the dumpster gate provides little, if any, obstacle. Which is why I think that the Traveler Motel is in the number 5 spot. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have Woodberry. Woodberry has a good amount going for it. Unlike the Motel, while it does have its own set of flaws, Woodberry has a much larger size. See, the good thing about a base like this is some of its vulnerabilities are counteracted by some other strengths. Number one, a lot of defensive positions. Roofs that can be climbed upon, a lot of buildings that can be hidden in. So it means if enemies were able to penetrate through the other walls, or perhaps even through the front gate, it means you can defend inside of one of these buildings. Now, not all of them are inhabitable, but enough of them are that it makes it a bit more difficult to clear, even with a decent sized group. The open space means if there is someone who breaks in, for them to get close enough to engage you, you would see them from a mile away. In a very similar sense, it means to the hotel, it means there's a lot of real estate to be seen. See, but the front gate is its biggest vulnerability. It can be climbed up upon, but assuming you are a much smarter survivor, you would have that guarded. Although it is not the best position, and it might be too big for most groups, it does, however, secure its position in the number 4 spot. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have the prison. Oh, the prison. What a classic location in this show. Iconic and Probably one of my personal favorites in the game, honestly. But we're here to talk about what's the most defensible. What's the best base. The prison's got a lot going for it. As you can see right here, this position, pretty good. You've got a tower here, provides you a good amount of not only loot, but good position for you to fight enemies, see any incoming enemies, and it's quite good. And as you can see, there's a pretty big wall around it that's pretty hard to get over, but not impossible. Although it's more difficult to do so. The prison being big as it is, it's a bit more difficult to get a drop on someone because of that open field and this large open space here. See, in order to attack a group that's in the prison, entrenched down there in the bottom front gate, you have to figure out how to get onto the roof, which there is a way to do so. Pretty easy way in my opinion. One way I have learned how to do pretty well. And even then, unless you have a lot of M24s and good aim, you're not going to be taking out that group very easily. But see, the prison's large size is an asset as much as it is a weakness. With that, it means that those in the prison that are not in that position, if you choose to defend and stretch out your defenders, they themselves are at a slight disadvantage because it is very easy to get into this section of the prison here. Very, very, very easy. But the front part of the prison, if there are enemies there, not so much. Here, it's relatively easy. As you can see there is a enemy up on that roof. He got up pretty easily. And once you're up there, it's a pretty decent position, but for attacking, not so much. I do think this is a great location, great for basing, good defense. But then again, it's maybe too big, and I just feel like there are some locations that just have a better defensive posture to them. And that's why the prison is at the number 3 spot. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the Hilltop. Yes, the Hilltop. Personally, it's tough. You have the Hilltop, and then you have the number 1 spot. But the Hilltop, there's just a couple things I like better about the number 1 spot. That the Hilltop, I think the Hilltop is just beaten in. But I'll explain it. So, basically, what you have at the Hilltop is you have the good aspects of the prison and the hotel put together. You have a relatively small location, hard to traverse walls, extremely hard. As far as I know, only one place, and you have good defendable positions. And you also have a good line of sight. As you can see in this video, that gentleman on the roof, he is in a pretty good position. And, well, I'm trying to play smart and not attack him because I would get machine gunned down. But these walls and the ability to see what is coming, as well as control the gate and shoot down at any enemies attempting to get to me, makes it really easy to defend. Its small space means you don't need that many people to defend. It's a really good position. I really like it. The Barrington House is great. Great defendable position. The areas where the gate switches are, those 2 guard towers are great positions. It's difficult to get over the wall. It's kind of difficult. Even the one way I know how to do it, it's difficult. And this area, even if they get in the wall, if you get, hole up in the Barrington House, it's a lot, it's actually not hard to defend at all. Stay on the 2nd floor, and you're ready to go with a shotgun. You could take out a lot of people. These rooms, well, it's shotgun heaven, baby. So, I find it a rather easy position to defend, and rather difficult to assault. Even if you have more people, you don't have many ways to get into here, and it's really easy to spot you from far away and take you out if you have a good sniper. So, if anything, I would say that, apart from some aspects the number 1 spot beats the Hilltop in, I would put this at number 1, but just wasn't quite it. So that's why it's in the number 2 spot. See, it was tough to choose between the Hilltop and the number 1 spot, but I think it's just a little bit better. Coming in number 1, we have the Sanctuary. Yes, 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 Negan's home. See, this place, I didn't expect it to do this well, to be this good of a base. But let me get into it. So, first things first. It's a tower. It's a giant tower. I mean, it says it's a metal factory, but as far as it being a factory, it's relatively small in that sense. Its interior space is relatively small. Although, yes, it does have a considerable amount of loot. I find that this location, it's perfect for a faction looking for a good defensive position. So, where to start? First, there's only three entrances inside. Those doors right there, as you can see, this entrance I am currently walking through, and another entrance on the rear. The biggest advantage is probably the line of sight. As you can see right here, I'm climbing up to the top of the roof here, and I can see basically everything. If someone's within even like a mile of this place, I could see them. And if I have a good sniper, well, it's a good deal. Although, I would prefer it to have more interior space. I'm pretty happy with what we've got. As you can see, there's a lot to this thing. You can see everything around. It's a great view. Although, yes, you can't get to this top without having someone to jump on, which is unfortunate. This is perfect for snipers. And I think that alone almost gives away the game. See, it's small fenced-in area, one fence gate, and it has a decent amount of space inside. It also has easy to defend positions, cover inside the base. It's small. It's just, I think, the best place to be. See, like the Hilltop and the Motel, as well as Woodberry, it's defensible. It's hard to get inside. It's really difficult to get in from the outside. And unless you go through the gate. And what I find is that this position is easy to defend, and players almost always assault the same way, going toward the front, making it easy for a small team of people to gun them down and to defend the position. And in all cases, I would say this alone makes it an easy top 1. Because with that, it means that even an even larger group of people is more secure in the fact knowing that they can easily defend against an enemy assault. It's a lot difficult to get in. It's really hard to traverse the walls. As I've said before, that combined with the sort of accessibility for the players, the cover, whatnot, all that put together is small positioning. It's relatively small space, meaning there's not a lot to defend. It makes it, I wouldn't say indomitable, but very difficult to break into. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoy this. If you have any suggestions or maybe you disagree with me, please, let's talk about it in the comments. I'd love to talk about this. This is a fun game, and I like to keep making content. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day, and I hope this has earned your subscription. Have a good day.